news right here in California. We have Gavin Newsom mocking Nick Shirley for exposing fraud right here. We have an image of this. Have you seen what he tweeted? It's a completely made up AI image.
We saw it.
It's not even like a how you doing fellow kids type meme. It says Nick Shirley right now, and it's a creepy looking dude with a whole bunch of cameras on and a pasty zombie type face that says, "Hey, can I see your kids?"
Yeah.
Because I guess Gavin Newsom is upset that people are holding his state accountable for the what is it, tens of millions of dollars of fraud right now?
Yeah, it's going to get into the billions, I'm sure. It's such a bad look and such a weird thing to attack someone who's trying to uncover fraud. It's such insane. But it's so funny because somebody pointed this out, and I think I liked it, Andrew, but Newsom gave, he likes to do his sanctimonious speeches about Trump was making fun of him and his disability. And he did that super pussy move where it's like, don't you ever let anyone bully you. By the way, I love when people say, don't let anyone ever bully you. Here's the thing about being bullied. You normally don't have a choice. The guy's got 50 pounds on you. He's 4 grades above you, and he's going to kick your ass. What do you mean, don't let anyone bully you? If that worked, then no one would ever be bullied. People go, I got bullied by my boss because he's rich and he's successful and I have no training and I show up to work drunk. And it's like, yeah, that's how it happens. When you're big and strong, when you're built like Tony Gonzalez, you don't get bullied. But when you're spindly, CB Savage, you then get bullied. But I just like I like when the left goes, don't ever let anyone bully you. Don't ever let anyone talk down to you. Oh, I don't have a choice.
Also, isn't it victim shaming? When you say it's your fault, you let somebody bully you?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
This is the problem.
Right. Okay. So Gavin Newsom said to every kid with a learning disability, like those fucks could read this, don't let anyone, not even the president of the United States, bully you. So now if you get bullied, it's your fault because you let them bully you. Dyslexia. Well, it's far away. Dyslexia isn't a weakness; it's your strength. Well, it's not your strength. It's not.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's such a big.
Yeah,
dude, I'm in AP classes because I have dyslexia. Said no one ever.
Your clubbed foot is not a weakness; it's a strength.
So, Gwen Stefani is dyslexic. And some people think that Dolly Parton is, right? So it's maybe it helps you with your creative, or it might turn, if hey, I'm not very good at school and reading, I'm going to exert my efforts and my brain power to something else could be a potential strength, but that's not your average kid with dyslexia. I think it's really, really damaging when people are this thing that you have is your strength.
It's retarded. It's happy salad shooter bullshit. Nothing leftist talk. It doesn't mean it's everyone needs to be treated with dignity. Everyone needs to sit at the table. Everyone should everything. Tell that to Al Qaeda.
I don't believe Gavin Newsom even has dyslexia.
No, I don't either. I don't either. Listen,
it's such an easy scapegoat.
I got tested for dyslexia. Yeah. You can go in, you can get tested, and then they can say it's positive or it's negative. They have a test for it. So if you are Liz Warren or Gavin Newsom or whatever, or if you're Rochelle Walensky and you got your son vaccinated, except for you didn't fucking prove it, or shut up. Okay. But he, while telling everyone not to bully anyone, bullied a 21-year-old who was trying to uncover fraud by coming out with a hateful meme about a guy who's doing his job, which is great. By the way,
$170 million already uncovered during his most recent trip. The independent state auditor apparently warned of untold billions in fraud across 8 major state agencies back in December.
Well, let me say this to everyone all at once. People do this thing all the time where they go, well, the right's just talking about Hunter Biden's laptop, and the right says it's real, and the left says it's not, and the right says COVID came from a lab, and we think it came from a wet market, and they say masks don't work, and that taking the vaccination's not effective, and then they go, it's just one side arguing with another. Here's my argument. One of us is right.
Yeah.
There's either fucking fraud or there isn't fraud. Either a mask works or it doesn't work. Either the vax works or it doesn't work. Or it either came from a lab or it came from a wet market. I want to find out who's right.
Let's get down to the truth.
Let's get down to the truth.
It's also worth noting that CBS News did a report on the California hospice fraud just last week.
Yes.
So a mainstream media outlet.
Right. But here's what I'm saying. Their argument is yeah, maybe there's some fraud, but they're just doing it because those guys are Trump fans, or they're just doing it, or he's not wearing a mask because he votes for Trump. And it's like, okay, let's say that's true, but there's still fraud and the masks still don't work. So fuck you.
Guess who's wearing a mask now?
Who?
Did you see Mr. Jimmy Tallarico?
James
Tallarico down in Texas that's running for Senate.
Oh, that that pussy. Yeah,
guy.
God's binary. I'm a non-binary. God has a penis and a vagina.
And he also said that the Mother Mary would have consented to an abortion.
Jesus,
but she didn't have to.
Well, that's in the Bible.
You guys have fun with that douchebag.
So he showed up wearing a mask, like an N95 mask at an event this week, and saying that his campaign was officially vegan.
That's funny.
Yes, folks. It is March of 2026. And that guy, I mean, is he just going full Kamala Harris? Like, what do the Texas voters want? Okay, I'm going to do the complete opposite.
It is a weird thing because being elected is, I'll put it to you this way. Mm-hmm. I like steak tacos.
Same.
First smart thing you've ever said on this show.
With the mics on.
With the mics on. You said smart stuff off there. I like steak tacos. I do not really like chicken tacos.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, Dawson?
Yeah.
My enchiladas were ruined the other day because chicken and cheese starts with the same two letters, and the guy's writing it down. He's handing it to the Mexican guy. Doesn't know. And I ate like a whole chicken enchilada before I really realized this is chicken. This is because it's all grated up and there's some cheese in there.
You gotta go pollo and queso, no chicken and cheese.
Yeah, come
you're
on.
right.
Learn some Spanish.
Cheese so much better than the enchilada. It was dry and weird. But anyway, okay, here's being a politician is.
Yeah.
I like steak taco. I like it much better than a chicken taco. But if I found out that everyone's voting for me prefers chicken tacos, like 87% to 13%, I might cool it on the how great steak tacos are talk and what idiots chicken taco consumers are, because I would like them to vote for me.
And then you go and you meet with some chicken farmers and you talk about how they're the backbone of the economy.
Right.
And what a great service they do.
So I don't get the guys that are going down the woke route. I don't get why. Maybe they want their steak taco at night, but play it close to the vest, man. That people don't like this.
It's fascinating, especially because it was like him versus Jasmine Crockett, and he seemed like the more moderate version for the Democrats to pick.
Right.
But now he's coming out the gate with this. Like, does he think he can't lose?
Did I, Dawson, and Andrew, did I get into my Jasmine Crockett equal time thing on this show, or was I doing it with Drew?
Oh, we talked about it for sure.
Oh, we talked.
I think we did talk a little
about
bit
the
about
stupidity of the equal time and how how much money she ended up raising. Like, she was able to play victim and
what I'm saying is equal time or more time is not your friend if your ideas suck and you suck.
Sure. Yeah.
It's no different. Sorry if I'm repeating. I can't tell if I remember us telling Drew this or you guys this, but you watch, Dawson, you go and watch comedians all the time. You see guys up there struggling in minute 2, and really eating a dick by minute 6, and nobody ever says if they only had a full hour.
Right.
It's like, no, this guy's bad, and we got it.
You find out just how long 5 minutes actually is when you are dumb.
Kamala Harris did not need more time. She needed less time. And then as somebody brought up, and maybe, I don't know, is it true or whatever, Joe Biden got elected because they locked him in the basement and didn't let him near a microphone. That's why he got elected. Less time.
Don't speak.
Less time if you have a shit message.
Being in this industry, you go on TV shows all the time, right? Like you go over on Gut
I'm
Felt
highly
shows
sought after.
You're highly sought after guest on a lot of TV shows. The way that you are able to expound and monologue and chat about a host of things on a radio or a podcast show it exposes your inability to have like a complete thought or a unique thought or perspective compared to people who do 90-second Instagram and TikTok reels. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
And even I would argue sometimes people are okay on cable news or for a quick red carpet interview or something, but if you sit down with them for a longer segment, they ain't going to be able to hold their own.
Right.
And so that's that application to what you're saying when it came to Jasmine Crockett and just how bad all of her ideas were.
Yoo-hoo, breakaroo. Guy's a genius.
Should that be?
He's going to be missed. What year did that hero die?
Oh, I don't know when he died. The song came out in 76, 77.
Guess who was in North Hollywood listening to Dr. Demento, memorizing every line of C.B. Savage.
So it was literally on the radio. Like, it was a real song on the radio. It wasn't like a Weird Al Yankovic parody song.
Weird Al was on the radio on Dr. Demento as well.
But everybody knew it was like parody.
Well, Dr. Demento has the name Demento in his last name. And so when he would play these songs, you would assume
that it was always. Because there are a couple of country songs that sound like parody, but they're real country songs. Like, there's one about, like, did you see the 30-pointer? Or Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Andrew, you can clear my screen if you like. All right, what's the next story?
So hopping on over to the East Coast, New York City's Mayor Mamdani used St. Paddy's Day to complain about the genocide in Gaza.
It's so weird that people, by the way, he's got a nice little brooch on. He's got his little sunflower brooch on. Means he's nice. He's a nice guy. He hates Jews.
I say this as over the past few years, as we've witnessed a genocide unfold before our eyes, there has been deafening silence from so many. For those who have long cared about universal human rights and the extension of them to Palestinians, silence, however, is nothing new. For Palestinians are so often left to weep alone. Yet former President Robinson has never been silent. Not when she was president, not when she was High Commissioner for Human Rights, and not in the decades since. As she once said, commemoration is a moral act. Her solidarity is many things.
All right, hold on. This is for St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, so he's referring to former Irish President Mary Robinson, who at this breakfast honoring Irish New Yorkers. So apparently it was just a whole host of leftists. I don't know. I know some Irish New Yorkers, and they ain't down for this.
Well, they cannot go to Jesse Jackson's funeral or commemorate St. Patrick's Day without turning into some sort of political speech about either Trump or Palestine, which is fucking awesome. By the way, anybody... I know this guy hates Jews, but Jews should hate him because he's actually taking an event which is essentially the Holocaust, and then grafting it on to what Hamas and the Palestinian government is doing to its own people.
Yeah, and apparently this president, she was the president of Ireland from 1990 to 97 and followed Mamdani's lead. And after saying that St. Patrick's Day was a time to celebrate Irish culture and traditions, she said it's also a time to remember all those who may yet be living, quote, under the shadow of war and suffering. It is really interesting. I have some Irish friends that came over for St. Paddy's Day dinner at the Krauts house, actually. And there is a big correlation, I think, between a lot of Irish people that they feel because of the disenchantment with, the monarchy and everything that went down historically there, that they feel like a connection to the Palestinian cause.
Right.
And I use air quotes because of I feel sympathy for the Palestinian people, but not.
But that was England doing it to them.
Yes.
This wasn't.
They view Israel as England, like the bad guy in this situation.
But the difference between Israel,
it's a big difference,
and England was doing it to them. Israel's not doing. This is be like the Irish blaming the Lucky Charms guy for destroying their life.
Yeah, remember when 6 million Liverpudlians were put in a gas chamber? Jesus.
No, literally, like it's fascinating though how the narrative.
They love it.
They love the narrative.
They're fucking wrong. Here's what it is. Here's basically their worldview, and this is a problem, and this is why it can never be fixed. I'm going to paint a very clear picture. You have one house on the block, and that block and that house, the one house on the block, has a intact religious family who raises their kids properly, who mows the lawn, who paints the fascia. The dad works hard, the mom works hard, and they all eat supper together at the same time.
Without screens.
Without screens.
You're describing the Krause house, Adam.
They cook. Mama cooks meal. They say a prayer. And when they're done, they read. They read to the children. That's what they do. And they do not indulge in tobacco or alcohol or drugs. Then there's another house.
Yep.
That other house lets the kids run around in their dirty diapers, swears at each other, drinks, smokes, doesn't mow the lawn, and doesn't pick up the dog shit. Okay. And that house is a mess. Now, middle-aged white people and do-gooder Karens and all these other assholes from around the nation, they look at the two houses and they go, why is that one house doing so well and that other house is falling apart? And then they go, that house must be doing something bad to the house next to it. No, it's not that house. It's the people in the house. The people in the house, the Palestinians and the government and Hamas and all the warlords and all the terrorists you guys see fit to run your country, destroy your country, not the civilized country next to you. By the way, you know who wants you to get your shit together in your house more than anybody?
Yeah.
The guy living next to you.
The nice house neighbor.
Because he's tired of getting his outdoor furniture stolen by you. He's tired of his kids being punched by your kids. He's tired of your dog shitting on his lawn. He hopes very much that you get your fucking house together. That's what he hopes for you and for him, because he'd like a relationship where he could borrow a cup of sugar and you guys could come over and have a beer and a barbecue. He wants that world where your kids can play in harmony together. That's what the guy in the nice house wants. He hates the fact that you guys have ruined your house, but you fucking ruined it. You did it. And you're being enabled by these guys' friends who then get in positions of power like the Squad and Ilhan Omar and these assholes. And every time they grab a mic, they start talking about the one house that's actually taking care of business on this whole block.
Yep.
And by the way, everyone on that block, known as the Middle East, is living in a ramshackle piece of shit house because they won't get their shit together. You understand?
No notes.
Fuck off. Thank you. Inspiring.
It's also kind of emblematic of what's happening in Iran right now, too. Is everybody's like, well, wait, they're fine.
Yeah.
As they murder tens of thousands of innocents in the streets. And
Jesus Christ. Wake up, Whitey. Wake up.
Oh, you can't call Mamdani Whitey. I guess you can call the former president of Ireland Whitey. She's probably really pasty white, too.
They're letting all the, Europe's committing suicide. They're all idiots. You don't understand who these people are. They want you dead. They're suicidal, homicidal maniacs.
Yep.
Okay. Who want you dead. Okay. Wake up.
And speaking of more fans.
By the way, when's this going to stop? When they stop wanting you dead, then that'll stop. That's when it stops.
I mean, that's what Dennis Prager has been saying for years, right?
Jesus Christ. I know.
Like, if Israel put their arms down, Israel would be destroyed. If Hamas put their arms down, then there could be peace in the Middle East.
That's right.
And maybe some Trump towers on the Gaza Strip. I don't know.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Speaking of people who love the woke narrative and SJP type crowds, a leaked teachers union K through 12 training presentation railed against Trump administration and red state officials. This comes from Fox News. The National Education Association, also known as the NEA, which is one of the largest teachers unions in the country, with over 3 million members, conducted a training session last month with far left political messaging, according to a watchdog group.
All teachers unions need to be disbanded. They need to be broken up. They have too much political power. They start calling the shots. They hurt the kids. They're a bunch of fucking crazy yentas run by, what's her name? Motherless, soulless, godless Roberta Weintraub, or whatever her name is.
No, you're talking. Yes, yeah. I know who you're talking about. The lady during COVID.
Yes.
Who was literally sending notes to the Biden administration about what the teachers wanted to do, and then they just went off of that instead of data. Randy Weingarten.
I
knew it would come to me.
Yes.
All
yes.
Right.
Randy Weingarten. Is that who you want teaching your kids?
Nope.
Angry lesbian?
Nope.
Whose number one job is to have all her union employees go home and get paid while your kids just languish at home? Is that what you fucking idiots want?
And don't learn how to read and write. The NEA training argued that the Department of Education is, quote unquote, now actively committed to violating civil rights.
Okay, listen. You got to break up those unions.
They want to protect vulnerable students, Adam. That's what they said.
Yeah. They love the kids.
They love the
children.
kids so much. They love to keep information about the kids from their parents.
I love it. I know. They want to transition the kids and give them all just vote Democrat.
So the teachers unions apparently took issue with Trump administration's designation of Antifa as a terrorist organization. People who wear masks and attack innocent people.
Remember 10 minutes ago when Antifa didn't exist?
Yeah.
It was just an idea. So there is, according to them, the Klan is everywhere.
But also doesn't exist.
But Antifa doesn't exist. The Klan is everywhere. Antifa doesn't exist. How come every fucking time I turn on the TV set, I can see Antifa fighting with cops, but I never see the Klan fighting with cops? Like, I can find Antifa. I don't know where the Klan is.
They would argue that the Klan is systemically involved in all of the decision-making in the United States. There you go.
Calling the shots quietly.
Calling the shots.
Right.
The training made it clear that there's an importance of adhering to gender pronouns and the specified gender identity of students, saying that educators can and should address students the way that they want, regardless of whether their identity differs from school records.
Christ.
Should I go on?
No, I mean, yeah, but it's so sad what happened to teachers and what happened to society. But it's the unions.
Like, they used to be the best of us.
Up.
Well, and the NEA, like other teachers unions, have spent tens of millions of dollars funneling money to left-wing groups, with critics pointing to the number of students struggling with poor test scores at the exact same time.
Right.
Fox News Digital, of course, reached out to the NEA for comment, and they said no. Back in January, by the way, there was a whistleblower employee within the NEA who spoke out against the toxic politics inside the union's headquarters.
Well, you can't listen. Every large group starts to tack toward the left, and it's kind of a weird thing. And there are probably examples in the defense industry or like engineering, the guys who build commercial buildings and stuff. Okay. If you have a business where you have to actually do shit, then you won't tack toward the left, because you have to think in a pragmatic way, which means you won't think, pronouns are neither here nor there. You're trying to build a dam, or you're a defense contractor, or you're building a bridge, or whatever that thing is. All right. But every group that is sort of idea-based always tacks toward the left. Like, if you don't really have anything to do, like Sierra Club or ACLU or teachers unions, if your group is just an idea, then you can afford to go to the left, and you always will.
What's fascinating, though, is I think when it happens with corporations making the move to the left, I don't even know that the people like on the board or at the corporation care. It's like the loudest minority within the organization or the company that they're afraid of. And I think that the fact that, my mind was blown that there are apparently conservatives that work at NEA headquarters.
Right.
Like, I think that maybe they joined it because they believed in the original cause of the group, and now they're like the lone warrior. They're all by themselves, and I think that sometimes that can happen in corporations and other types of groups as well.
The left will weed those people out and get rid of them. Mm-hmm. Like, if you were a voice on the right in this group of cackling yentas. Sorry, they're mostly all women. If you were a voice on the right and you showed up after the election and you're like, I voted for Trump and I'm glad he won, they'd figure out a way to get you out of there.
But what's fascinating is they start to then eat their own, though. Like, you don't even have to be a full-on MAGA wearing hat person. Like, you could just be like hey, what's the data show for how lockdowns affected children in the country?
Any truth seeker would be thrown out.
And that would be like red flag to them, right?
Yeah.
And then they start to eat their own, because then if you're not left enough for them, they will destroy you.
Yes.
I heard a story the other day about somebody who had to do some type of work event, and somebody had recently changed their pronouns, but she went off of the pronouns that was like on the documentation.
Uh-oh.
And then the pronouns that she used got her in trouble, or they in trouble.
Pronoun trouble.
And then it was like a whole thing in the office of like, you didn't use my proper pronouns. And it was like, but these were the pronouns that I had on the HR documentation.
I know. It's my favorite.
And they eat their own.
No, I agree. You had the woman at the LA, I think it was California Teachers Union conference or whatever, was explaining she didn't like the term homeless that we looked at a couple of weeks ago. That's, by the way, the teachers group over there. She wanted to say unhoused neighbor or whatever, and the guy was like, well, but it was on the sheet officially. Like, okay. We're not at a point where we're arguing with dumb people about nothing, is essentially, while the border's open and terrorists come floating in.
And there's homeless people everywhere.
Right, who are dying.
And we're giving them clean needles because we think it helps them.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. One more story.
Oh, goodness. Well, I mean, we're circling back to the song at the top of the segment.
Savage?
I mean, listen to this. This involves vehicles and gay voice. Full circle. And you didn't even know this was coming.
Break 19.
NASCAR has suspended driver Daniel Dye after he used gay voice on a live stream podcast. Apparently Tuesday, they indefinitely suspended him after a second major penalty against the young driver after he used what he called a gay voice to mock another racer during a live stream.
Oh,
here we go.
Now, by the way, is it a little close-minded to say there is a gay voice? But anyway, all right, let's
I think so.
Okay. I know Miata's went to Nashville. And he's like, why don't you eat your food? It's like, oh my gosh, yes. We race Indianapolis too. We love Indianapolis. And Roger Penske. I love Roger. Love you, Roger. As soon as I start doing a David Malukas gay voice, I hit a gold. So let's keep it going.
So, apparently, the comments ran afoul of NASCAR's rules that bar members from making any statement that criticizes, ridicules, or otherwise disparages another person based on that person's race, color, creed, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, marital status, religion, age, or handicapping condition, the organization said. Dye apparently drove NASCAR's third flight Craftsman Truck Series, a developmental level below the Top Cup Series, and a second flight of O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. He's in 13th place after 3 starts. And apparently, Malukas, the guy that he made fun of, is a 24-year-old son of Lithuanian immigrants and races in the top flight. He apparently apologized on his social media and admitted fault over there. He said he chose his words poorly, and I understand why it upset people. I'm sorry to anyone who was offended.
Nobody was offended. Not NASCAR. They'd be offended if there was a gay driver.
He also said he needs to be a better friend to the community.
Okay.
The community.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Okay, but here's the thing. We got to cut cage fighters, NASCAR drivers, and infantry soldiers some slack. You know what I mean? They go, that guy sounded like, he just got stepped out of an octagon. He just got kicked in the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, these are folks that do stuff that we don't do. It's a completely different culture and community. We cannot, basically, they need their own N-word.
Oh.
Meaning,
like a 22-year-old NASCAR driver.
Yeah, like a rapper can use the N-word because that's his culture.
Yeah.
We go, the N-word, worst word you can say. Except for they say it all the time. Why is that? Well, we cut them some slack because it's a cultural thing. Making fun of gays is a cultural thing when you drive in the Craftsman Truck Series. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Our gay buddy, by the way, Dave Rubin, has said, let people say gay.
Yes.
Like, because it tends to be like a kind of bro-y thing that people do.
Yeah,
he's clearly a 22-year-old idiot. His prefrontal cortex is not fully formed.
He drives a race car. They don't...
By the way, I didn't know who he was until this popped up all over social media. So it's like you're giving the kid a bigger name. Yeah. I don't know. I have mixed thoughts on this. If this was my son at 22, I'd be like, you're an idiot. Come on.
Yeah, but who cares? Right.
But also, unless this guy... he wasn't making fun of him being Lithuanian, and it doesn't say anything in this article from NBC News about whether or not he identifies as a member of LGBTQ.
I want to know what the damage was. What's the damage? Who was hurt?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody cares. Who are the brothers that drove? Not Labonte.
Bush?
There's a couple of brothers that were NASCAR years ago. And one of them does all the commentary. And I always tell you that guy sounds gay, but he's not. But there is a gay. I always say that guy. You know who I'm talking about, but I cannot think of his name.
Has a more feminine sounding tone.
There are guys that are from parts of the South that are not gay, but they're kind of dandies. You know, they sound like that because they're from that part.
Like there's some good old boys from Mississippi and Alabama that have a certain tonality. Is that what you're talking about? Like
not really saying good old boys. I'm saying Southern dandy, like guys who would have owned a plantation back in the day, and they sound.
So we can make fun of them because their ancestors owned slaves.
Yeah, what was?
We're allowed to make fun
brothers. NASCAR announcing driver. It'll hit you. Tall guy. Let's see. Dale Jarrett. No. Is he brother Parsons? Benny Parsons. I don't think it's Benny Parsons. You'll know it when you see it. He's tall. He's done tons of NASCAR events, and he drove, and his brother drove. So I'm trying to think of who.
I only know him from his picture, so I'm trying to find that.
Yeah. He'll drive me nuts. I can never think of this guy's name.
That's kind of interesting, though, because most of the time, sports announcers have a very unique, deeper tone.
Yeah.
And most of the time, women, because our voices are at a higher register, like I actually, not because I'm sexist or self-hating woman, but like there's not many women that I will listen to for a long period of time because there's a higher octave that is like less easy to listen to. So it's interesting that he ended up being like he can call the races because he has that kind of a voice.
He raced for a long time. His brother raced, and he was in the NASCAR booth for a million years. But I don't know why. Well, a lot of brothers race. It's not Jared. It's not LeBron.
He kind of has a Huell Hauser affectation,
yes,
right?
Yeah. I don't know why it's going to drive.
Exactly who you're talking about.
I can picture him. He's tall. He's got dark hair. He's nice looking. He raced for a million years. His brother raced. I'm pretty sure his brother raced, and he was in the booth for a million years. So hopefully there are lots of people listening right now that are yelling this guy's name into the air, and it's going to drive me nuts, and we'll find it as soon as we get off the air.
So the first suspension that this Daniel Dye kid got actually makes sense.
Waltrip, yes. Now, why didn't Daryl Waltrip and Michael Waltrip? Why doesn't that come up faster? But anyway, yeah, the first suspension
makes sense because he was 18 and he was taken out of the Oval in 2022 for allegedly punching a high school classmate in the groin, leading to a felony charge that was reduced to a misdemeanor before eventually being dropped.
I like this guy.
So we go from physical altercation to verbal altercation.
I like him. That's what you want. That's the guy you want behind the wheel. All right. This Sunday, Santa Ana, go out and see me in the cars. Just go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. Nebraska's coming up. Again, go to adamcarolla.com for the live stuff. Alicia Krause, where do we find you?
Washington Examiner, Daily Wire, on Instagram, wherever.
And until next time, Sam Carolla for Alicia Krause and Stephanie Hodges saying, mahalo.
Hey, Sam. I've been working the TaskRabbit, just doing handyman crap because obviously I have no skills. Anyway, I'm moving this arcade game upstairs for these gay guys. And the other guy, was grabbing the bottom of the thing. I'm grabbing the top of the thing. And I made a top-bottom joke. And nobody got it. It's like, come on, man. There's nothing funny anymore. I'm the top, you're the bottom, or whatever. Come on. It's funny. Fuck off.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I know, I love that. I love a good top and bottom joke. Yeah.
Great. I wonder what arcade game that guy was talking about.
Oh, Mr. Fister. I don't know. That was the name of my gay bar. All right, Rudy, you got some news?
Let's do it. Pranksters in scary Halloween mask terrified a family member in a hoax that needlessly cost more than 100 hours of police manpower and could have had deadly consequences.
Oh, man.
A 911 caller on October 14th reported that there were 3 masked individuals making threats at her door. A video of the scary Halloween encounter captured on the home's doorbell camera went viral after multiple community tips helped investigators learn the 3 masked people were boys ages 14 to 16 who were 2 sons and a nephew of the prank's perpetrator, a cousin of the victim.
Mike August doesn't make a lot of great points, but he did make a great point the other day, which is you go into the Home Depot and they have like a 11-foot tall werewolf and witchy poos, 12 feet, and it's like massive animatronic stuff that, all I do is I go, God, my family would have never, ever bought any of that shit. But how cool is it being a kid today? But he goes, where do you put it all year?
Yeah.
Like, I know it breaks down. Like, I know you don't have to have a 14-foot werewolf in your garage all year long. Like, it breaks apart, but it's still 11 foot tall. Like, it could break into 3 pieces and go in a box somewhere. But, I mean, by the time you do the whole front yard, that's taking up the entire garage during the off-season. And the off-season is 11 and a half months a year.
Yeah, as a guy who every year at his house would put out a giant Halloween display, it's usually I think we had about 6 those Rubbermaid totes. We had about 6 of those filled, and then we had a couple of things that we just had to stack up in the rafters of the garage because they were too big.
Yeah.
And then if you really want to permanently store them, you just wait until your ex-girlfriend leaves you and takes half of it and doesn't tell you, and then you go out to the garage in October and go, son of a bitch.
She took your Count Chocula?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that giant wavy, wacky, inflatable arm guy that was Jack's skeleton version of that. She took that too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That bitch.
Totally. Buried her ass in the backyard.
Did you a favor though, probably.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Because the rest of it, I moved a year later, and the rest of it just went to various neighbors and relatives. But it's a lot.
Yeah. All right, we got the video. I think we can play here.
Act like he's serious. Act like he's serious.
So I don't get it. It's Halloween time, right? Why was she freaked out about this?
Well, she doesn't know who these people are.
Oh, okay.
Open up the door.
Also, if there's anybody outside my house yelling this,
Make her wait inside. Open up the door.
aren't you just more laughing than terrified?
I think so.
Yeah.
Listen, you got to have a paintball gun.
Yeah.
Because you have a paintball gun, that'll separate the wheat from the chaff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because you could have Freddy Krueger out there, whoever, Jason, but 2 good, well-placed shots with a paintball gun. If they're 14-year-old boys, they're just running down the street screaming, right?
As we learned, a Rimfire 22, that'll also scare them off.
We did some Rimfire 22. Charlie Sheen, we took a deep dive, Rudy and I did. He was staying at my place last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why this has gone viral. I don't get it. But have a paintball gun nearby. And no one's going to sue you for shooting with a paint gun when they try to threaten you this way with the Freddy Krueger thing.
There is a new documentary called The Perfect Neighbor. I believe it's on Netflix, about a woman and her neighbors that after months and months of going back and forth, a lot of shouting matches, screaming at the kids, neighbor took a young boy's iPad, and then the mom showed up, banged on the door. Woman shot through the door, ended up killing the woman. And This is a good reason as to why I get like there should be you shouldn't be terrified if you are the homeowner of this, but this is also a good reason why you shouldn't maybe show this documentary to your kids and go, don't go banging on people's doors. I get that it's supposed to be funny and it's a joke, but hey man, this is how you can end up with one in the chest.
Yeah, we would do the opposite when I was a kid. We'd go streaking. And streaking is sort of the opposite of this, in that there's no hiding behind anything.
Yeah, that's a hell of a Halloween costume.
Yeah, we would do it in the summer months, probably.
Okay, gotcha,
It's a little warmer.
A little warmer, yeah.
Get a little better hang, at night.
A little good blood flow.
But definitely been streaking. Streaking was a thing.
Yeah.
It was popular. They wrote a song about streaking.
What song is that?
The Streak.
That's called The Streak?
Oh, they call him The Streak.
Oh,
Ray
sure.
Stevens.
Oh, sure. Ray Stevens. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Ray Stevens was the greatest. He's been on the show because he'd have The Streak, and then he'd have Ahab, the Arab, and have all these things. And then his big hit. I still love the commercial because I don't know. Find the Ray Stevens record collection commercial because the thing that's crazy about it is they'd go, you remember The Streak? Look at it. Here, that slide whistle,
sure.
and then they'd go into, and Ahab, the Arab, king of, it's the most offensive shit. And you remember Guitar Zan, and his jungle band. And then at some point they'd go, and who could forget? Everything is beautiful in its own way. Like he had the craziest, softest, pro-America, pro-religion, whatever hit.
Yeah.
Along with novelty Ahab the Arab stuff. Which is showed a range.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to see The Streak. I need a commercial. I need the commercial for like Ray Stevens' greatest hits or something like that.
There were so many of these like during the late 80s, early 90s. Like they had this. There was Dorf on Golf. There was like great.
This predated that.
Yeah, this was all, there was so many good sort of like infomercials to sell.
But it just cracked me up that Everything is Beautiful was a #1 hit by the guy who brought you Guitar Zan.
Yeah.
We need volume, sir.
Yeah, I did.
With hits like...
You had moved into a haunted house.
Nah, we need old Ray Stevens. This is like new.
Yeah.
This is what the kids do all the time. They give you the 2007 version of the commercial. We need the 70s version of the Ray Stevens best of. But anyway, all right, you can. Let's see if I got it.
That almost looks like a parody commercial of a Ray Stevens commercial.
Well, that is Ray Stevens.
Yeah.
But they ran best of. Yeah, maybe. Was that The Streak?
Is that guy still around? Is he in Branson?
No, he's in Zurich. Yes, he's in Branson.
Boogity, boogity. And he ain't wearing no clothes. Hold it!
Ray Stevens has sold millions of comedy records.
Yeah, I did.
You've listened and laughed at him for over 2 decades.
Come and lay here by my side. Till the early morning light.
Now, for the first time, you can see him on home video in 8 of his greatest, funniest hits.
Are you naked?
And you get it all on one hilarious V8, The Streak.
Oh, yes, they're calling The Streak.
Sitting up with the dead.
Fred just sat right up.
Surfing USSR. Santa Claus is watching you.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
Help me make it through the night.
Even it's easy for you to say.
And
Me again, Margaret. They got me, Margaret.
this collection also includes one of Ray Stevens' most loved
Oh, here we go. It's away. And then right into Guitar Zan. All right. That's what I'm saying. A lot of range.
I wonder if there was any kids back in the day that were like, you don't get it, Dad. This is our music. Guitar Zan is our music, Dad.
Ahab the Arab is our
music.
Arab. Yeah.
Oh, man.
He wasn't a great interview.
Really? You don't say. Man, dude, him and Dunham on the road together, that would be where it's at. You get Arab what is the name again?
The puppet?
Yeah, no. You get Ray Stevens.
Ahab the Arab.
Ahab the Ray. Why can't I say it? God damn it.
The Arab.
Yeah, there we go. You get him and then the Ahmed, the dead terrorist, in the same room, man.
Oh, yeah.
Comedy gold. Comedy gold. Bill Gates calls for a strategic pivot in climate change fight from curbing emissions. Bill Gates thinks that climate change is a serious problem, but it won't be the end of civilization. He thinks scientific innovation will curb it, and instead, it's time for a strategic pivot in the global climate fight, from focusing on limiting rising temperatures to fighting poverty and preventing disease.
Yeah. So, look, you're not going to do much in terms of getting China to stop emitting so much CO2 and India and a lot of these other growing nations, but you can have air conditioning and seawalls and stuff like that. I mean, look. Okay, here goes, Rudy. You ready?
Please.
Poor Rudy had to swing by the job site with the caissons in it before we headed to work today. I drove Rudy into work today. We live in a place where there's earthquakes. So I don't know if you just go, climate causes the earth to shake to such a point where buildings come down and are crumbled to the ground. Okay, so we have earthquakes. So we realize we have earthquakes. Whether it's a San Andreas fault, plate tectonics, God, Ray Stevens, whoever causes earthquakes, we cause earthquakes. But we have earthquakes. So then we build accordingly. And we can build structures that can withstand a big earthquake and nobody gets killed because we understand, we have technology, we have engineering, and that's how we build. So we do that. And then there are places like Guatemala where they don't build to withstand earthquakes, and they have a bunch of unreinforced concrete, and then a 7.2 hits Guatemala and the whole place is level, and there's kids and they're trapped, and then we can't find people, and we need cadaver sniffing dogs. That's in Guatemala. 7.2 hits here, nothing happens. Things shake around, fence falls over, parking structure, whatever. That's it. So we just prevent it by building a certain way, and we prevent it. Well, then there's global temperature. So it's Death Valley, it's 121 degrees. Okay, but we invented air conditioning. I mean, you live in Vegas, you can live in Vegas. You used to not be able to live in Vegas, and now you can live in Vegas because you leave your air-conditioned apartment, you go into the people mover that has air conditioning, and that takes you into the casino at Caesars, and then you walk around the air conditioning there, but it's 114 degrees outside, but you're not outside, you're in air conditioning.
Yeah.
And then you get in your car, and your car has air conditioning. Now, how hot is it in Vegas? Well, it's 119 degrees. How hot is it in Malibu? It's 80 degrees. I got air conditioning. You got air conditioning. We just set both of them for 71 degrees in your car, and that's what it is inside my car. Even if where I live is 50 degrees cooler than where you are, it doesn't matter. So you can build, and we can use technology to counteract this stuff and almost go around it. So they didn't have good seawalls in New Orleans. It's below sea level, and Army Corps of Engineers didn't build the seawalls right, and then the storm came, and then it flooded, and then people died. But then you can rebuild the seawalls so that the storm in the ocean doesn't get above it, and then people don't die. So you're not going to stop the sea, and you're not going to stop earthquakes, and you're not going to stop the sun and the heat, but what you can do is have air conditioning, seawalls, and caissons, and grade beams, and reinforced concrete, and shear walls.
Yeah.
And then it's not a problem. So just do that.
Just do it.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
But they don't like that because that doesn't involve taking shit away from you. So that's their thing is, well, we'll get people in the Santa Monica area to stop driving internal combustion vehicles. That's not going to do anything. It's called global warming.
Yeah.
Look at China and India.
As a guy who has lived in Minnesota most of his life, the thing that comes back is when it gets to be January and we have those cold snaps of, negative 35 and they last for 10 to 15 days. And then you go, man, pretty brutal out there. And they go, that's global warming.
Right.
What do you mean it's global? I thought it's cold outside, but that's the effect of global warming, is that it gets really hot during the summertime, and then it gets, I'm like, that's exactly what it's always been. So if it's global warming, would it not be warmer in the wintertime?
Well, here's what I would say to Gavin Newsom and the ones who want to blame the fire on global warming. Okay, it's global warming's fault, but it's the earthquake's fault too. But you build your freeway overpasses to withstand a 8.5, and then it doesn't fall down and kill people. So, all right, there's global warming. I'll sign off on that. So now we got to clear some brush. We got to hire more firefighters. We have to get the equipment up and running. We need to fill the aqueducts, and we need to get one of those planes that Canada has that drops the fire retardant material because of global warming, right?
Yeah.
Your thing is global warming and no water in the aqueducts? That seems like it's going to be. That seems like the Palisades may burn to the ground. That's just me.
Yeah. It seems like as time has gone on, we've figured out ways to outsmart nature. Between dams and windmills, we figured it out.
Well, I mean, air conditioning means you can work and live in places that were not hospitable to human beings year round.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But half of our lives, we've never left 72, but our children have never left 72 degrees.
Plus, you and I were on a job site that was on the ocean today. The houses that were built along that ocean are from the 40s, many of them. Where's the rising sea again? PCH, and I'll point this out because we're going to know it. We're looking at these caissons, these cement poles that are buried in the ground. The ones that were by the highway, PCH, where we were standing, I had to point out to you, I go, it's in the ground. You can't see it, but there it is, just barely sticking up out of the ground. The ones that were 30 feet, 40 feet close to the ocean were up out of the water about 5 feet because that's level, meaning where the highway is, PCH, to where the ocean comes in on high tide is only about a 5-foot difference in height.
Sure.
No water's ever been on PCH.
Yeah.
Water's never been on PCH. It's only 5 feet. It's over the course of, well, they were building houses there, but I don't know, PCH was built there in the teens or the turn of the century. So where is this sea? Where's the rising sea is what I'm asking.
Yeah. Yeah, I see multiple videos of icebergs that are melting, but my ankles are still dry.
Those lots wouldn't go for $6 million.
Yeah.
And after you're done spending the $6 million, the first 2.5 got to go into the foundation. So you're at 8.5 before the first load of 2x4s gets dropped off to build your new house. You're at 8.5. It wouldn't go for that if the seas were going to engulf your home.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, good on Bill. George Clooney reportedly claims that Virginia Giuffre's posthumous memoir claims that he was with, I can't even believe that I'm reading this, Ghislaine Maxwell one time claimed that she performed oral sex on him.
You know you're good looking when chicks are lying, saying they blew you. Because I got a lot of chicks who blew me. They're like, who?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I have a little something called dignity.
Yeah.
Okay? No.
What is that? A bunch of gray pubes on? No, definitely not Adam Carolla's gray.
No, that is gray. No, I have chicks lying about blowing me.
Yeah.
This is the other direction.
Yeah, so this came out in her memoir where Clooney's people came out immediately and said that this story is absolutely BS.
Here's what I want to say about denial of blowjobs in Clooney and why I tend to believe her. I don't know a lot of guys who turn down a blowjob. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So blowjob is sort of like saying, well, I played catch with Peyton Manning. It's like, well, what happened? Well, the ball went in my yard, and then I saw him standing in his yard, so I just picked it up and threw it back to him. Like most guys don't go, no.
Yeah.
I'm not instinctively. Like you're in the park and the basketball goes rolling. You just pick it up and throw it, right? Like it's a guy instinct.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
little help.
Cars backing up, gonna hit some trash cans. Hands go up. Come on. You got it. You don't know the guy. You stop walking your dog and start waving the guy. There's an Amazon truck backing out of a driveway. You're all hands.
Yeah.
You don't know the guy.
Yeah.
That's a dude thing.
Yeah, Peyton Manning's got his mouth wide open. You're back
Wants to
helping
give
him
you a
back it in.
blowjob.
Yeah, of course.
Need. So she's a good-looking woman, and she's like, "Want a blowjob?" And most guys are like, "Yeah, all right.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?"
Yeah.
So I don't fault a guy. And by the way, the history of the woman doesn't really factor in, like what she up to, how she vote, what are her politics, is she running underage chicks? It's like, hey, blowjob.
Yeah.
Right now, windows closing. Here we go.
Yeah, I would love to see any of these dudes who, walk around in dresses with blue hair, who still have a dick swinging between their legs, and a gal shows up with a MAGA hat, and she's like, hey, BJ?
Blowjob?
What's he going to say? No? Of course not. Of course he's going to take it.
Under the tent.
Yeah. Yep. Passenger left behind food so
he's
bad.
saying he didn't get the blowjob.
He's saying that they have absolutely no connection whatsoever, that they've never met.
My answer would just be, look, I get a lot of blowjobs. So.
Yeah. A lot. In fact, 4 on the way here today.
If I were him, it'd just be, I get a lot of blowjobs, I can't keep track.
Yeah.
So possibly.
Yeah. Even when I'm not driving, I'm still getting one.
Well,
from the
where
driver.
did she say? She had to say she was at a party. Hey, the whole thing about the blowjob, or about this story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's funny is that they don't get into exactly where that this happened. She did say, let's see, you know what? Really, it only talks about the fact that.
See, here's where I believe it. If she goes, look, Neil Sedaka's a close personal friend.
Yeah.
And he was throwing a party. And I went to a party. It was in Beverly Hills. And next thing you know, George Clooney's in there.
Yeah.
He's a friend of Neil Sedaka. And then we start drinking. And I end up in the bathroom and I give a blowjob. Like that to me might have something other than this sort of, I met him once.
Yeah. Specifics, that's what you need.
But also, when bad people give you a blowjob, I don't feel like that diminishes your worth.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say if I said this. My grandpa, he got a blowjob from Ava Braun. Like, I wouldn't go, he's a Nazi. I'd go, good for him. Hope he dropped a load right in her forehead. That one's for America. Yeah, like Inglourious Basterds. Right, like I would go, good for him.
Yeah.
That's not
Sure.
It's like an endearment thing. That's like you're in charge.
Yeah.
Fuck her.
Well, I think to dudes behind closed doors that you don't lose any credibility. But I think if other women find out that you got a blowjob from a certain somebody,
so like I should stop telling everyone Marge Schott gave me a blowjob.
Well, no, actually you gain points, a lot of points with that. Okay. Yeah, a lot of points. Yeah. Now if it was Jerry Jones on the other hand, another sports owner, then
obviously I don't swing that way.
Yeah, of course. See, it brings you down. Yeah.
I got a clip that Dr. Drew loved, and I wasn't planning on playing it, but for some reason I'm in the mood.
Oh, I heard you guys cackling earlier today.
Drew is just. I said I want to play. I had this notion about Gavin Newsom's all in the news, and he's always in the news now, and I realized my conversation with Gavin Newsom was insane. I had an insane conversation with him, but I realized it's me and my voice and Gavin and his voice, and so people are kind of like, well, you're arguing with Gavin and Gavin's arguing with you, and so who knows? Let him talk, whatever. And I'll just play the first 30 seconds so you know what it is.
Family members, money put away.
I got it, but think about
don't
Adam,
have the kids.
Half of African Americans in the state of California, roughly half of Latino families, have no access to a checking account or an ATM. Things we take for granted. They don't have a checking account.
What's wrong with them?
And well, because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Well, why do we have them?
All right, everyone's heard this, and it's always like Adam saying this and Newsom saying that. But I thought, if you read this like a transcript, then you would think Newsom was insane. Right now, it's my voice and his voice, and they're familiar. and you're picking a side or what have you. But I said, I need a transcript of this and have actors read it. And you probably should have let me set up, but that's all right. So I was working in the other room. I was over here with Joey, and I said, Joey, can you do some sort of AI thing where it's like you just get a transcript of this argument I had with Newsom, and then we'll have AI or actors or somebody read it, and that way we can hear it more clearly. And he said, well, there's no real AI actor voices. The only one there is Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, well, make Burt Reynolds Gavin Newsom in this scenario, and then make me a chick. I want to be like a sensible NPR chick. So Adam Carolla is going to ask the exact, it's verbatim, it's a transcript of our dialogue, but my voice has now been taken over by an NPR sensible chick, and Gavin Newsom's voice has been taken over by Burt Reynolds. And here's what that sounds like.
Half of African Americans in the state of California, roughly half of Latino families have no access to a checking account or an ATM, things we take for granted. They don't have a checking account.
What's wrong with them?
Well, because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Why do we have them?
A lot of different reasons, but roughly half those families don't.
Why do Armenians have them?
But where they end up is a check cashing place.
But I want to know, why those groups? Why do those two groups not have access?
Just happens to be that we can talk about...
Are they flawed?
No, they're hardly flawed, but they're struggling.
Genetically flawed?
Hardly. Absolutely not.
Do Asians have this problem?
I mean, a lot of communities have problems. A lot of whites have these problems.
All right, pause it for a second. So you will realize that Burt Reynolds sounds insane.
Yeah.
In this conversation. Now, Gavin Newsom doesn't because he's arguing with me and people don't like me. But when he's arguing with the sensible NPR chick, now Burt Reynolds sounds nuts. Right. So, and listen, I love it when he just goes, it just is. You know, it's like, why are they at the check cashing? That's just that's how it is. Like, oh, thank you, problem solver.
Yeah.
That's why we need more like guys like you in charge who can just bring up a problem and then go, It just is. All right, sorry, we'll continue.
A lot of communities have problems. A lot of whites have these problems.
So it's not just black and Hispanic?
No, but
Well, why did you bring up black and Hispanic?
Because the magnitude is ominous.
But why so many of them?
It just happens to be just the magnitude.
That's the way God planned it?
Not at all.
Well, what happened to them?
There are a lot of issues, and communities are struggling.
Why are they struggling?
A lot of different reasons.
Hispanics have been here, blacks have been here longer than we have been here.
Well, we can surmise.
What about Asians? They were put in internment camps.
Yeah, in fact, it all initiated out of San Francisco. The Chinese Exclusion Act came out of progressive San Francisco.
So are they at the check cashing places?
A lot of Asians certainly do.
Oh, so why don't you include them?
Because then the only reason why is the magnitude of the problem.
But there's no way to figure out how that happened.
We could talk about, you know what I'm dealing with? I don't want to have a sociological debate.
Sure. Why would you? Why would you want to do that? Because the person from the Times wouldn't write good things about you if you did that.
No, that's not the case. Because I want to deal with reality.
You want to deal with reality? I can tell you what reality is.
People are struggling. People are suffering. I want to deal with the problems in a pragmatic way.
Why are they struggling and why are they suffering?
We can hold hands and surmise about all these other reasons.
I don't want to do that. I want to know why they're struggling. Why are they struggling?
A lot of folks are struggling because they can't find jobs.
Why blacks and Hispanics?
Across the board, all socioeconomics.
So everybody is struggling?
Everybody is struggling.
So Asians are suffering just as much as blacks?
The face of welfare is not an African American family.
Oh, so it's Asian, Jewish, it's all of them?
Caucasian.
Okay, we're all struggling.
A lot of folks are struggling.
Okay.
Wow.
Now he seems like an insane person, right?
Yep.
See, if I played me arguing with Gavin Newsom to my mom, she'd go, well, let him finish. You're not letting him talk. He cares about... But if I played her Burt Reynolds and the NPR chick, she'd go, that Burt Reynolds, I never liked him.
Yeah.
He's a nut.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Man, this might be the only time I would ever say this, but I'm glad Burt Reynolds is not around to have flipped the tides and just started talking like an insane person, because everybody I love is going nuts. Like, Robert De Niro's now getting that age. I'm like, what's happening to you people?
No, man, Gator would have never gone nuts on us. But Burt Reynolds sounds insane because he brought up a problem and then he has no solutions to it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can we get AI version of Margot Robbie and Marge Schott arguing over who wants to blow you less?
Oh,
yeah.
I would listen to that. Throw Burt Reynolds in.
Yeah, throw him in there too. Why not?
Well, I got to say this. I now am captivated, and I'm going to lend Burt Reynolds' voice to all Gavin Newsom clips.
It's great. Yeah.
And then I will take my NPR chick and replace my nasally drone because it sounds so much more sensible when she does it.
Where else they going to go? I don't have a good Burt Reynolds, but I'm just saying that'd be great if you just add that into that conversation.
Play the first 45 seconds one more time, just because it makes me laugh. And for some reason, the picture, you can go to adamcarolla.com and see it, but...
Half of African Americans in the state of California, roughly half of Latino families have no access to a checking account or an ATM, things we take for granted. They don't have a checking account.
What's wrong with them?
Well, because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Why do we have them?
A lot of different reasons, but roughly half those families don't.
Why do Armenians have them?
But where they end up is a check cashing place.
But I want to know, why those groups? Why do those two groups not have access?
Just happens to be that we can talk about...
Are they flawed?
No, they're hardly flawed, but they're struggling.
Genetically flawed?
Hardly. Absolutely not.
Do Asians have this problem?
I mean, a lot of communities have problems. A lot of whites have these problems.
All right.
So it's
so everyone's got problems.
Man, could you imagine if he's on the CB with Snowman giving this conversation and he's like, dude, I just wanted to get some Coors from Texarkana. Bring it back. Shut your mouth.
Little Enos is giving me the third degree. I'm now in love with... Now, listen. I said I wanted a celebrity to be his voice and celebrity to be my voice, and Joey went, the only AI voice available on the computer is Burt Reynolds. And I was like, not my first choice, but now I'm in love.
Now you're in love with it.
With Burt Reynolds as Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, the lack of options is what really drew your heart to it. I love that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And now it's a familiarity thing.
Yeah.
So, That 70s Show wasn't supposed to be called That 70s Show. They just called it that. It was like a working title. Yeah. And then after 6 months of development, they're like, we're just going to call it That 70s Show.
Yeah. God's got a great way of working things out, and I feel like his power was
with Burt Reynolds.
With Burt Reynolds, yeah.
And I just wanted generic nice chick who sounded logical, so Burt would sound nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on it. Judge, get it on. Dr. Drew's board certified section specialist. Yeah, so controversy from our last show. I was explaining about our mayor of Los Angeles who was started to kind of, and I will say this, I don't give Gavin Newsom his due very often, but when he says sort of California leads the way, we do with fucking retarded ideas that then end up fucking up other places that adopt these ideas. Yeah. And the sort of chick thing kind of leads the way.
Bloomberg came here and touted California as the ultimate liberal ideal state.
Right.
Then he disappeared. He's not been heard from since on that topic.
So I was explaining that about 10 years ago, Garcetti, who's willowy and wispy and straight by all accounts, just soft, super soft.
Didn't we decide he probably isn't straight? Isn't that we sort of... Anyway. Right.
Who decided that?
I don't know. I thought you and I had that conversation.
Well, he's got a wife and kids.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Wake up, Drew. Yep. No, you and I never had that discussion. Right. But he's soft. No, but here's the whole point. Gay guys have an affect that starts early and often. Straight guys have to conjure it later in their career. It's not like he acted like a pussy in high school. He had to put on the pussy facade at 40. You know what I mean? So that's where the crossing your legs that way and sort of handling yourself a certain way and sort of think Obama. Obama kind of ushered in soft, wafy, kind of deep leg crossy kind of guys. There's a sleeve roll. There's a kind of what you do with your hands when you sit. There's a definite leg cross. There's a posture. to it that isn't much different than being gay, and that as a gay guy you sort of have your mannerisms. Well, as a soft guy you have your mannerisms. You have to signal to your constituency, the LGBT community. You have to bring up the LGBT community like constantly, always, right? And the black and brown, the LGBT community. You have to talk about how whatever affects this community all the time. And this community could be women of color, the LG, the trans community, the constant Islamic community. You have to bring up communities constantly, and then you have to talk about how it affects them. And then you have to sort of de facto talk about how your heart breaks for those communities who are affected and impacted by these, that's what you do. So you care. You just get up and care. Now you don't do anything, you don't have any plan, and you don't build anything. And you prevent people from building things,
I want to bring up,
you get angry
I want to bring
when
up,
they do build stuff.
Something you and I talked about yesterday, which is a neuropsychologist I heard talking the other day who said, if you're going to do something, build something, do not talk about it because there's a motivational system in the brain that is satiated by talking, whereby talking feels like having done it.
Right.
And
so we talked off the air. Yeah. Sorry, you have to make that clear.
Yes, it was off the air. You and I were talking about.
And I had been wondering out loud for a long time, and I've been saying to Drew about this, and I would always use my ex-wife as an example, which is she said she called the cable company or she made a note to do this or did that, but nothing ever got remedied or fixed. And I would say to you all the time, this is like 15 years ago, I go, she feels satiated. Yeah. She feels like she did something. And as a matter of fact, she would present it all the time. Like,
look what I've done. Yeah.
Yeah. But if I said, your license has been expired for 6 months, you got to get your license. I went to the DMV.
Right.
When? Sunday. What happened? They weren't open. When was that? That was 4 months ago. Like, she would trot it out.
Yeah, as having been done. Yeah.
Well, she would trot it. I'll tell you what she would do. It'd be like if your wife said, when are you going to clean those gutters? I keep telling you to clean those gutters. And then she said it like you would say, look out the window right now. You see the ladder? See the ladder and the gloves at the bottom? I just came in for some lemonade. See the ladder? She would say that like she was saying that, except for she never did anything.
Right.
And it never got done.
Right.
And I would constantly say, calling the cable guy or calling the whatever guy or telling the gardener or whatever who never did it and whatever it is you said you were going to do, it's the same as zero. It is the same as not doing anything.
Weirdly,
but they never felt that way. And I would say to you all the time, I'd go, she feels satiated. Yeah. Like she feels like she did something.
So we need to talk about it. We need to have a committee about it. We need to discuss it. We need to have a seat at the table.
She knows we didn't get whatever done, but there is a satiation.
Yeah.
But and I've been screaming about this for a long time, and I've been sitting and talking about the homeless and, and dignity and a seat at the table. I say it satiates. Yes. Stop talking about it. Well, so you say, now what with the brain? Go ahead.
So, now the insight that this neurobiologist was providing, which is that there's a motivational and sort of satiation, as Adam puts it, system that is lit up in the same way by doing something as talking about it. So talking about it and doing
women
something.
Or with everybody.
Well, you and I speculate.
Because it doesn't work on me.
Right.
I would get frustrated.
But would it work on Gil Garcetti? Yeah.
It works on women.
Yeah.
And it's a chick wiring thing.
Yes, correct.
But it would not work on Margaret Thatcher.
No.
But it would work on Eric Garcetti.
Yes.
So it's not penis and vagina per se.
No.
It's a chick think.
Yeah.
And now he probably didn't want to drill down into the chick think part of it, but I've noticed women talking about stuff in perpetuity.
Yes.
And for me, it would be frustrating to talk about something and not get it done.
Not only that, but government takes that to another level. It's like, well, we handed $300 billion to them. It's over.
Right.
They never follow up. They never check. They never measure. Then it's just, it's done. We gave them the money. And
all right. Okay. So I was mentioning that Eric Garcetti is a pussy, and he ran Los Angeles, and he was one of the earlier onset pussy guys, although
early onset pussy.
But Obama kicked open the door for those pussies, right? And so we got a bunch of super soft douchebags trying to run cities. And look, it's good for doulas and wet nurses. It's not in opening a floral stand, but it's not really good for running a city because it's like tough decisions and sorry homeless guys, you don't have a right to camp on the street and we're getting you out, we're sweeping you up.
We're helping you.
But it's tough love.
Yeah.
And they don't do that.
No.
So
that tough love, the idea, we are doing what's necessary to help you. And sometimes that requires work.
Right.
And that's that. Doing things you don't want to do in your disease.
Right. So I hearken back to a quote I heard while I was driving about Eric Garcetti saying that when prisoners are paroled, we owe them a debt of gratitude, which is a real pussy thing to say.
Yeah.
Now, I told Andrew to look for it, and then he Googled it. And Google, which I'm interested in looking at again, because I found this interesting.
They said it was a fabrication.
Google said it was picked up. Someone else said it, but he never said it.
Right.
And I was like, well, there's computers and there's Google, and then there's me sitting in traffic listening to my AM radio 10 years ago, and I heard it.
Well, the only thing that scares me about that, Adam, is that your memory is pretty much perfect. That is rare. Most people's memory is not. And I don't want everyone now relying on their memory so much.
No, do not rely on my memory, not your memory.
That's right.
Eric Garcetti.
And I say that without sarcasm.
According to Google, Eric Garcetti did not say we owe them our gratitude. That quote is a fabrication that originated in 2019, open in the publication City Watch, LA, which sarcastically attributed the statement to him. Okay, so Google says he never said it.
So we went to Grok.
So we said, well, let's check with Grok. And Grok
quotes it.
says the quote you're referring to appears. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Sorry, but I'm still reading the top, so you can give me the top. Appears to stem from a May 27, 2016 announcement by then Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti about $9 million, blah, blah, blah. All right, so now we go down. When people have paid their debt to society, our debt of gratitude should be just thanking them.
Not just thanking
them for their service. Being incarcerated and costing us $50,000 a year for their service, but allowing them a pathway back in. All right, so he's soft, and I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
But that's what both of us remember. We remember that quote. I remember seeing it.
Yeah. But Google says no. Now, what's Google doing?
Scrubbing. They're just,
They're not scrubbing. They're fabricating.
Yeah.
Lying.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it doesn't look good.
For who? Why, aren't we interested in accuracy, Google? No. Google? You don't want to be accurate?
No.
He did not say we owe them our gratitude. All right. Well, that's what the quote is.
And then
that's what I remember.
To an audio.
We got a link to an audio that Andrew thinks is AI. But if it's AI just reading it, then that's fine. That's what he said.
Let's see.
All right, let's listen to what
you and I remember it.
I know what he sounds like, and I know what he looks like.
Yeah.
When we invest in people, we don't know where things will turn out. But when people have paid their debt to society, our debt of gratitude should be not just thanking them for serving that time, but allowing them a pathway back in. They will also have access to services from life skills.
So why do you think that's AI, Andrew?
That's what he sounded like.
That's what he sounds like.
I don't recall what Gar said.
That's what he sounded like.
But why do you think it's AI, is what I'm saying?
Sounds very masculine. It sounds like someone put a text-to-speech.
All right, well, let's hear it again. I don't feel like it's masculine.
No, because it's so much him. We're used to him.
Yeah, we know what he sounds. You're from Philadelphia, but that's what he sounds like. I don't think he sounds masculine.
But, I mean, you never know with AI. Who knows, right? I mean.
No, I'm saying who knows, so shut up is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But play that played.
When we invest in people, we don't know where things will turn out. But when people have paid their debt to society, our debt of gratitude should be not just thanking them for serving that time, but allowing them a pathway back in. They will also have access to services from life skills training to cognitive behavior therapy.
So this is Garcetti. It doesn't sound that masculine to me, but this is him saying what Google said he didn't say.
And that is precisely how I remember it, although there is a part of this that bothers me, which it sounds like a radio interview. I remember him standing at a microphone doing it.
Well, Drew, your memory
memory.
is all over the fucking road.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard it on the radio. I could have been a presser. There could have been a film footage of it. Yeah. So let's one more time. Is Google trying to beat us on a technicality where he said, he never said, you know how they do that a lot? Yeah. They do a lot of like, he didn't say.
Yeah.
I said earmarks of Russian collusion. I didn't say it was. I didn't say Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian cat collusion. I said it had all the earmarks of. That's different than saying it was. Yeah. I just said it had all the earmarks, Drew.
Crazy.
Lying person.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And, the sun is checking out early these days. It gets dark early. And that can set you up for seasonal affective disorder. It affects us more than we think. Maybe time to reach out, check in with people, and maybe you catch up with somebody that you haven't seen in a long time and you wonder to yourself, why did you let time go by before you did that? In fact, I'm doing that tonight. Same with therapy. It can be difficult to start. People have lots of preconceived notions about why they shouldn't go. It's all denial. It's all defensiveness. And once you do get the help, inevitably people think, why didn't I do this sooner? BetterHelp, of course, makes it easier. They lower that barrier to entry. You just fill out a short questionnaire. They match you with a licensed therapist. Matching people right the first time is their thing. And if it's not a fit, you can switch anytime. No awkward breakup required. They have over 30,000 therapists, 5 million people helped, and a 4.9 out of 5 rating. And there's a reason for that. So connection is important to your people, to yourself. And if you are disconnected from some aspect of your emotional system, BetterHelp is there to give you a hand. Right, Daphne?
This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/AdamandDrew. That's betterhelp.com/AdamandDrew.
Eric Garcetti did not say we owe them our gratitude. That quote's fabrication. All right. Now, did he say we... The problem with all these guys is they're horrible public speakers. So when you read the transcript, it always comes out stupid because they're not good at it. And they're not that concise.
Not accurate, yeah.
All right, let's see. One more time. Let's see. He does a stumble before it a little bit.
When we invest in people, we don't know where things will turn out. But when people have paid their debt to society, our debt of gratitude should be not just thanking them for serving that time, but allowing them a pathway back in.
All right.
They will also have access
I'd go ahead and say Google lied about this.
Yeah.
So what's Google doing, everybody? Why are you running interference for Eric Garcetti?
I have trouble with them all the time.
I know, but you guys are partisan actors. Don't people know? I guess we know that, right?
Yeah. That's why I use Grok all the time.
The large language model that Google is utilizing, probably the technicality is I didn't hear him use the phrase O-W-E in that sentence. I can play it again, but he just said debt of gratitude. He did not say we owe them gratitude.
Oh. All right, let's hear it again.
One more time.
Let's see.
When we invest in people, we don't know where things will turn out. But when people have paid their debt to society, our debt of gratitude should be not just thanking them for serving that time, but allowing them a pathway back in.
Okay.
They will also have access to services from life skills.
Well, no, we're playing owe them or our debt of gratitude. It's the same thing. But they may be doing a little technical work
The
around.
syntax is implied just with the words, but Google's LLM is disavowing it in this instance.
Yeah, but are they disavowing it because he's a progressive?
Because they're motivated.
Are they motivated?
Hey, but whatever. It's
okay. All right.
Why do they come up with where it came from if they're so...
They're motivated.
Yeah.
All right. So, Drew.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a weird experiment, but...
There's a topic I want to get to, so let's do our
What topic do you want to get
to?
to?
The gynofascism biology
keep
thing.
going. Keep going.
So there is a woman, I got to look up her name very quickly, if you don't mind. Her name
Be prepared for all the gynofascism stuff to start in.
Yes.
Because they will be following what I've been saying for years.
I think gynofascism is going to be a substitute for chick-think.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Dr. Danny Silkowski. This is a podcast, Female Psychology and the End of Empires. Okay. Female Psychology and it's subtitled Civilizational Collapse. And this is a evolutionary biologist from Australia who is very much and she has evidence for what she says. And she says that this cycle we are in happens repeatedly, anthropologically, through civilizational cycles, and it is ultimately the result of a reproductive strategy of women. That while men can go out and conquer and can impregnate as many people as they want, women cannot do that. I mean, Cleopatra could have done that, but she didn't. She could only do one baby at a time, so she went for high value males, Mark Antony, whatever. So that tends to be the reproductive strategy of the female. So how do you isolate high value men for yourself from the reproductive market of other females? Well, you do that by discouraging other females from reproducing. How do you do that? Well, when they're very overweight, they don't produce very well. So body positivity. Lack of families. You should
body. What do you mean when you say body positivity?
That's the movement
I know what you mean.
that glorifies Lizzo.
Right. So every chick who's glorifying Lizzo is in a Peloton commercial while she's glorifying Lizzo.
And she's either a useful idiot or adopting a reproductive strategy.
Right.
And so there's that. There is.
By the way, you know what's a little weird sidebar to that? And I've always said it. Women love when women cut their hair short.
Well,
oh, she looks so good. I'm going to cut she looks so good. What they're really saying is, okay, she's off. She's not part of this for a while. She cut her hair short.
That comes up in her discussion.
Right. They fucking love it. And I'm like, what do you give a shit whether her hair is short or not? Oh, she looks so good. And then they go to you like that. You cut your hair looks so good. It's like what they're saying is, all right, you're off the playing field.
In the meantime, their hair is down to their ass.
Oh, their hair's to their ass.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So they're on a Peloton with their hair caught in the spokes. But they love Lizzo and they love the bob.
Well, and just think about how the bob goes all the way into trans.
Right.
So we're going to support that. We're going to support the bob.
Support everything. Yes. Lesbian.
We're going to support don't reproduce. Go get your have a career. Don't do this reproduction thing.
Right.
Pro-abortion.
Right.
Because I wouldn't abort a baby, but you should have the option to do it.
Right.
All these things, if you put them, those are the ones that come to mind at the top. You put them all on a list, and it causes women not to reproduce as a strategy, as opposed to diet and education, and Charlie Kirk. Opposite of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is the enemy because he's encouraging all women to go out there and have babies and have families and build and do your.
He's the enemy.
Yeah, your professional life for sure, train whatever, but pay attention to this other part. And so it is something that she has documented in many, many, many civilizations throughout history. So it's not an unusual thing.
No, nothing is new, really.
Right.
But it is new in that I always, whenever some bitch does something stupid who's running a city, I go, we need more women in positions of power. That's kind of new. This take them. We got Karen Bass running Los Angeles. She's a dope. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She's probably, I don't know if she's socialist or she loves Cuba more than she loves Encino. I'll put it to you that way. But we decided she's good. And we're dumb, and she's dumb, and she's destructive. and we're idiots, but we decided we need more of this. And if we can't find her, we'll find, Zorhan, some dude who basically acts like a chick, or Gil Garcetti, who's a chick, essentially, or Gavin Newsom. It's not good. It's going to ruin our fucking society. I've been saying it. Everyone hates me. Nobody likes that kind of talk.
Yeah, well, by the way, the other thing to do is to devalue high-value men.
Oh yeah.
So anything
that
is productive, is masculine. Those, oh God, stay away.
Right.
Look at my husband. Oh,
right. Right. All right. We'll take a quick break. Be right back after this.
Isn't that interesting, though?
It explains a lot of what I've been feeling. I've been feeling this for a long time.
And I've always, as a biologist, I was trained as a biologist, and one thing I learned early and often, when you're trying to explain biological mechanisms, whether it's behavioral or behavioral proteins or behavior of mammals, you look at the evolutionary adaptation. What is it doing from an evolutionary perspective in terms of moving the genes forward? That's always what it's about.
Yeah.
Always.
All right. I did this weird little experiment where I thought, I started going down this road, which is I thought, my conversation with Gavin Newsom's insane to me, but I realize people hear my voice and they hear his voice and they don't respond, or they might. And
what do you mean?
Well, it's me arguing with Gavin Newsom, but if they would just read the text, like really just actually transcribe what he said, he sounds like an insane person.
Yes. Right.
So I grabbed this 3-minute clip and I got with Joe and I said, let's get rid of my voice and get rid of his voice. And by the way, make me a woman who's interviewing him and just make him a dude. And let's hear what that would sound like.
It's awesome.
But then he ran across Burt Reynolds' voice. Joey did when he was... I'm looking at this picture. He's got the state of Florida embroidered on his hat, doesn't he? Is that what that is?
Yeah, he's a big Florida guy. Went to FSU.
I know he's a big Florida guy, but in this movie, he's in Georgia and smoking the bandit. But anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting. Never noticed that.
I never noticed he had a Florida hat. Anyway, I know he's a big Florida guy. He was in a movie called Gator, for Christ's sake. So... I said, why don't we just have Burt Reynolds' AI voice be Gavin Newsom?
Yeah.
And my voice will be like an NPR type of chick.
Yeah.
Like a nice,
I'm dying to hear
learned
this.
chick. And it's a weird little thought experiment. So this is, now none of the dialogue is altered at all. It's just transcribed. It's exact words. And I am the NPR chick and he's Burt Reynolds. Here we go.
We got to do this with everything. We do this with everything.
Well, it might work, it might not work, but I found it interesting. All right, let's listen.
Half of African Americans in the state of California, roughly half of Latino families have no access to a checking account or an ATM, things we take for granted. They don't have a checking account.
What's wrong with them?
Well, because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Why do we have them?
A lot of different reasons, but roughly half those families don't.
Why do Armenians have them?
But where they end up is a check cashing place.
But I want to know, why those groups? Why do those two groups not have access?
Just happens to be that we can talk about...
Are they flawed?
No, they're hardly flawed, but they're struggling.
Genetically flawed?
Hardly. Absolutely not.
Do Asians have this problem?
I mean, a lot of communities have problems. A lot of whites have these problems.
So it's not just black and Hispanic?
No, but it...
Well, why did you bring up black and Hispanic?
Because the magnitude is ominous.
But why so many of them?
It just happens to be just the magnitude.
That's the way God planned it?
Not at all.
Well, what happened to them?
There are a lot of issues, and communities are struggling.
Why are they struggling?
A lot of different reasons.
Hispanics have been here, blacks have been here longer than we have been here.
Well, we can surmise...
What about Asians? They were put in internment camps.
Yeah. In fact, it all initiated out of San Francisco. The Chinese Exclusion Act came out of progressive San Francisco.
So are they at the check cashing places?
A lot of Asians certainly do.
Oh, so why don't you include them?
Because then the only reason why is the magnitude of the problem.
But there's no way to figure out how that happened.
We could talk about, you know what I'm dealing with? I don't want to have a sociological debate.
Sure. Why would you? Why would you want to do that? Because the person from the Times wouldn't write good things about you if you did that.
No, that's not the case. Because I want to deal with reality.
You want to deal with reality? I can tell you what reality is.
People are struggling. People are suffering. I want to deal with the problems in a pragmatic way.
Why are they struggling and why are they suffering?
We can hold hands and surmise about all these other reasons.
I don't want to do that. I want to know why they're struggling. Why are they struggling?
A lot of folks are struggling because they can't find jobs.
Why blacks and Hispanics?
Across the board, all socioeconomics.
So everybody is struggling?
Everybody is struggling.
So Asians are suffering just as much as blacks?
The face of welfare is not an African American family.
Oh, so it's Asian, Jewish, it's all of them?
Caucasian.
Okay, we're all struggling.
A lot of folks are struggling.
Okay.
It's the best thing ever.
He does. It makes him. It highlights the fact he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking. He's not saying anything.
But here's the really interesting part. Apart the fact
I'm
that
glad
it's
you
genius.
appreciate.
It's genius.
My genius.
It's genius.
My genius.
Yes, you're a genius.
My genius.
The
fact that Burt Reynolds randomly popped up when we were trying to
How would
figure
you like
this out.
me to express that
I said,
to you?
well, I said I want a celebrity, and the only celebrity that came up with Burt.
Well, I would argue,
why
though,
do you find that genius?
Because, but I tell you the part that really, for some reason, brings it all the way home is the NPR check. That's the part that takes it all the way.
It can't be another dude, and it can't be me.
Yeah, that's the one that you go, that makes you say, oh, fuck, right? So I want from now on, in fact, I want, from this show, I'd like it to be with an NPR check from now on. Because people will respond so differently.
Right.
I want to hear
because you go, that fucking male buffoon doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and she's just trying to do her job.
I want to have a
right instead of shut up, Adam.
Yes, I want to have a conversation with the NPR radio chick about chick think and see what that sounds like. You know what I mean? Like, see if the term chick think out of her mouth rings different. Right? I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
So interesting. Andrew, did you have the same reaction I do? Did you?
There were the folks in the room are used to my genius, so they're kind of impervious to it, or it's called a Tuesday for them.
It's like the scene in A Time to Kill when Matthew McConaughey is delivering that impassioned speech at
Drew
the end of
doesn't
it.
know what you're talking about.
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No, he doesn't watch any movies.
Oh, no.
But the point is my conversation with Newsom, I realized was insane. But I realized that because of my voice and his voice and partisan politics and side taking, my mom would have listened to that and went, you didn't give him a chance to talk. She would have taken Newsom's side and said, I badgered him or let him talk, or I understood what he was saying, or well, he's trying to help or whatever. I realized that I had to remove myself. I realized I had to remove him.
Maybe it's a strategy for life here.
Yes. I realized I had to replace with an NPR woman.
Yes.
Now, listen. Who would have thought of changing genders? This guy.
Full respect.
Because I said, I need an NPR woman. And by the way, who's more masculine than Burt Reynolds?
Yeah.
So I need a very masculine sounding Newsom and a NPR chick, who's me. And now you realize how insane Burt Reynolds sounds. But that's not Burt Reynolds, it's Gavin Newsom.
Yep.
And that's how nuts. Hey, I don't know, did he track? Was there anything that changed his ideas?
He actually sounded like a robot. You know what I mean? In terms of his maneuvering. Like, he made no sense. It just sounded like like the way a robot would maneuver, not a person.
One more, just the first 40 seconds, just because I can't get enough of it either.
We got to put this out somehow so people understand what it is.
Half of African Americans in the state of California.
And putting Bert's picture is funny. And then it was Andrew's idea to go tight on Bert when he got into stuff.
Half of African Americans in the state of California. Roughly half of Latino families have no access to a checking account or an ATM. Things we take for granted. They don't have a checking account.
What's wrong with them?
Well, because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Why do we have them?
A lot of different reasons, but roughly half those families don't.
Why do Armenians have them?
But where they end up is a check cashing place.
But I want to know, why those groups? Why do those two groups not have access?
Just happens to be that we can talk about...
Are they flawed?
No, they're hardly flawed, but they're struggling.
Genetically flawed?
Hardly. Absolutely not.
Do Asians have this problem?
I mean, a lot of communities have problems. A lot of whites have these problems.
So it's not just black and Hispanic?
No, but it...
Well, why did you bring up black and Hispanic?
Because the magnitude is ominous.
But why so many of them?
It just happens to be. Just the magnitude.
That's the way God...
All right, it just happens to be.
Just happens to be.
Well, that's a problem solver, isn't he?
Wow.
It just happens to be. That guy's going to solve that problem.
I want to see.
It just is, Drew.
I want to see a whole series of these.
I got more.
I want more. We should have an episode every week, every show on this show, at least every week.
First off,
what?
You understand these are hardworking men and women in that other room over there.
I know,
Drew.
it's a lot to ask. I know.
And but I do want that one with him and Kara Swisher brought up as well that I've made people play a few times. Well, first off, I talked to him for an hour, so it can easily do more of me. Yeah. But there is the one where he's talking about people leaving the state.
Oh yeah, the Utah, the Salt Lake City thing.
Yeah, it's in the computer somewhere. Yeah. It's 3 minutes long. He's talking to Kara Swisher, and that could easily be swapped out for NPR woman who basically Kara Swisher anyway, and Burt Reynolds. I'm now in love with the idea that it's always Burt Reynolds.
That's the conceit.
Because my mom would hear that.
Yeah.
And my mom didn't know anything. She'd hear that, and she'd go, Burt Reynolds is such a blowhard. He's such an asshole.
Yeah, she hated him.
And that NPR girl, I don't know where she went to college.
Yeah.
Probably a woman's college. But she's bright. And she took it to him.
Yeah.
She stuck it to him.
Yeah.
And that's good for her. Because Burt Reynolds, that guy, that's my mom would do. But if my mom heard me and Gavin Newsom, she would take Gavin Newsom's side.
Of course.
All right.
This is the insanity of the present moment. This is it.
Go to, thank you, Drew. Yes. I'm glad you responded so positively.
Oh, my God. It's genius.
Boston, Mass, Wilbur Theater coming up Thursday, November 6th, and then Friday off to Buffalo and Electric City doing stand-up shows there. Go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. What do you got, Drew?
Everywhere. YouTube, X probably your best place. Ask Dr. Drew Tuesday and Thursday at 2 Pacific, Wednesday at 4.
So, until next time, Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.